Welcome everyone to our joint webinar with Text Request and Mathnasium. We really appreciate everyone joining us today. As you can see, we do have Libby joining us, and I am with Text Request. Just to give myself a quick introduction here, I am on our enterprise sales and partnerships team here at Text Request, and so I am very excited to be able to present to you all today alongside Libby. I'm sure that you are all familiar with her, but I will go ahead and give her the floor now.
Hey guys, I'm Libby. I am a second generation franchisee. I just retitled last week, so my new title is Director of Marketing for the Lossing portfolio. So as of right now, we have 14 centers across San Diego, Phoenix, Denver, and Dallas. We always are doing fun things in the background, so more on that in the future. But today we have 14. I'm Director of Marketing, and we've had a really great partnership with Text Request over the last 2-3 years. Feels like it's been a while. So I want to talk about those kinds of features that I get to use with our vendor and some best practices and how it's really helped grow our businesses, and more importantly, our online reviews, which in turn helps grow our business even more.
Yeah. So before we dive in, I wanted to kind of take a step back and talk about why text. Why should you be texting and what is the value there? And so to give a bit of insight from the text request side, we do allow you a platform to efficiently and compliantly have text conversations as a business. Libby's going to dive into some specific use cases here, but with a business texting platform, this does give you a way to now have one-to-one text conversations or even send out mass messages as well. And in today's world, texting is the way to communicate. And so if you are trying to reach your consumers and your customers and your parents, why not reach them where they already are on their phone that's either in their hand or in their pocket? And so with our platform, we do give you ways as a business to text, most importantly, from your business number. And so this does give you the ability to have a landline or a VoIP and now generate text conversations. And so let's dive in and talk about some of the more specifics of how you use the platform, Libby.
Yeah, first some accolades and things that made Text Request like our preferred vendor whenever we first onboarded with them. We had used ZipWhip, we had used Scipio, we had used various different texting software separate of our Mathnasium franchise involvement. We also previously owned and operated a gym franchise where they had their own texting software. In general, Text Request has been like the clear favorite amongst our group, which is why we've gone 100% all in with Text Request. I can't understate the fact that it's really important to only really use one phone number on all of our marketing and advertising materials. We've taken over centers where it's like, here's the number you can call, here's the number you can text. And that's just not a convenient experience for your people because they'll try and call one and text the other and get confused. So it's really nice to just simplify the fact that we are using one phone number for all of our communications, as well as with text requests. It's really easy for me as a multi-unit operator looking at our participants. Most all of you guys are multi-unit operators. So the ability to toggle between my different profiles and text from different learning centers without having to like log out, log back in. It's really seamless. It feels kind of like Radius in a sense, where I can just log into one dashboard and access all of my stuff from one place. So it's very convenient. We'll go over a couple of the different use cases that myself and then my center directors and their admin teams, how we use texting. First and foremost, the seamlessness of being able to have just easy one-to-one conversations with your parents. Parents are very busy. It's hard to get them on the phone. Half the time I get someone on the phone, it's, oh, I'm in transit and I'll call you back later. And then I never get the call back. So the ability just to simply text them. So that way it's like on their schedule, on my schedule. If I'm in the middle of a parent consultation, it's not like the phone's ringing and then I'm missing that phone call. Or I look like I'm negligent because I'm letting the phone ring for 2 minutes while I'm trying to wrap up a one-to-one conversation face-to-face. So the ability to text is just much more convenient for everyone in terms of like the effortlessness of the communication. With our leads, we certainly do a lot of lead follow-up via text message because you'll call and call and call and they never answer the phone and they ignore your emails because everyone ignores emails these days, it feels. Whereas if I text someone the link to schedule, an assessment for their child, all of a sudden, cool, it's on my calendar. They're actually doing it because they're actually utilizing this communication method for leads. And then with our enrolled families, basic things like being able to reschedule a session and do things like that very easily. It's just effortless communication. Text request also has a lot of features separate of just, texting. So I like that I can do more media rich text messages. So that's stuff like being able to send photos or send GIFs. I think that's part of like building up a stronger parent relationship. We have kids who like maybe they lost a tooth at the center and I want to send them a picture of their kid that just lost their tooth. Maybe they added to their brag board and I want to send the picture of the kid like tacking up their A+ on my brag board. Maybe I made them a certificate of achievement because they finished a post assessment and now they're leveling up to the next round of curriculum. And I want to snap a quick picture and send it to mom and dad. So a lot of the stuff that might end up on our Instagram or on our Facebook, I like to send it to mom and dad first. It's just a really good feeling. Myself, I don't have kids, but I have dogs. I send my dogs to Camp Bow Wow. I feel really good whenever Camp Bow Wow sends me pictures of my dogs while they're at boarding because it just lets me know like someone is actually involved with my child and looking out for them, and they know me as the guardian. Like they know that I'm invested in what's happening there, and they're being really good about proactively communicating with me. So the ability to send media is really great with the text messages. Additional features, mass communication is also highly beneficial for us. And I don't want, whenever I do mass communications to our parents, there's going to be straightforward things like, oh, okay, there's a hailstorm in Denver and we're not going to open the center today. So we're going to tell all of our Denver parents that have an appointment this afternoon that we're closed for snow and hail. You don't need to be super fancy about that, but it's nice just to be able to like mass text it out to 300 people and be done. But then there's times where you want to use the mass texting feature, but you want it to feel more personal. And text request has templates, and they have templates that you can toss in custom fields to. So with custom fields, that can be basic things like first name, last name, email, phone number, that kind of thing. But you can also add custom fields, which for us, the custom fields are stuff like being able to add in a student name or a student grade. So if I'm sending out a mass communication and I want to say, hi, parent name, and then acknowledge their student later in the conversation, I can toss in those form fields to be able to make it look like I'm just talking to that one person versus sending a mass text message. It also makes sense whenever you're doing like bulk lead follow-up of like, hey, we're 1 month into the school year. I hope things are going well for insert student name in insert student grade. If 2024-2025 doesn't seem to be the school year for us, just know that you can schedule an assessment with Mathnasium, and here's the link, and I'd be happy to help. But being able to add in that extra tailoring makes it seem less robo text and more like, hey, I'm a person who actually cares about you in your specific situation. So I love the fact that we can do custom fields and templates to be able to send things out like that. You can also send them as bulk text. Sometimes we prefer to do them one-on-one because you still do additional little tailoring here and there, but you have the option to do it both ways, which is really great. With maintaining a contact list on text request, I can upload CSV files. So I'll just export out of Radius. I'll figure out which columns on that Excel sheet I actually want, and then I can download and import it into text request. So that way it stays pretty one-to-one with what I have in Radius. And I'm communicating to my most updated versions of my lists. What else? SMS chat is another way that we use text requests. So SMS chat is the chat bot on your microsite. So on the back end of the Mathnasium microsite, you have the ability to add the live chat feature. That's where you like import a string of code to be able to like have the little icon in the bottom that's like, want to talk to a live person, and they can click on it and then open up that little window. I thought that that was going to be a very complicated thing. It looks like something that's complicated and hard. It's just part of text request where I get to customize my colors. I can toss in a profile image of like the agent they'd be talking to. I can customize what like the banner of it all says. So for us, we're not doing things as live. So it's like, hey, send us a text message and we'll text you back, but not live agent, but it looks like live agent, but we're very clear that it's not like you're going to get a reply in 30 seconds kind of thing. Be nice, but typically not the case with us. So that's a really nice feature to be able to add. And it's we'll do a live demo later, but it's really easy on text request to build that feature and then just copy paste the string of code and pop it in the correct field on the back end of the Mathnasium microsite. What am I missing? Reviews. Oh my God. How did I forget reviews? Okay. This is the number one reason that I love text messaging. And maybe if you saw my post on LinkedIn, this was the reason that you joined the call. Text request has a really great thing called reviews. It's a feature for reviews where you can bulk request reviews from your parent list. And again, with those like levels of customization, it doesn't feel like you're getting a big robo text asking for a review. It's very personalized and tailored whenever you do it correctly, where you're acknowledging the fact that you hope that the student's having a great experience and that you would appreciate if they could give you a review. I like to tweak in some seasonality. So I do bulk requests quarterly. So I do it Valentine's Day where it's like, we love working with your student. We hope your student's learning to love math. We would love a review. Love, love, love. And then I do one at the end of the school year, typically, so April, May, depending on which region I'm in, where it's like, it's been a great school year with Mathnasium. We hope your student found great success through our program. We would appreciate a review. We had a great school year together. Similarly for summer, it's like, hey, we just had a great summer at Mathnasium. Right now with back to school season, parents are looking for resources for their kids. We would appreciate your testimonial. And then we do it Thanksgiving in November, where it's just like, we're thankful for you. We hope you're thankful for us. Would you share a review? I don't know how often you guys check your Google reviews. It's something that I've become obsessed with, is how I stand compared to my local competitors as far as like the organic search on Google. A big investment we've made this year for our marketing spend is with SEO optimization. So now I have a live dashboard for all 14 of our learning centers where I have a local grid audit of when you search math tutor and you look at the map on Google, how am I ranking like 1 through basically unlisted? And it's one of the main components that Google uses to determine whether you're going to rank 1, 2, 3, or not even in the top 6 is your online review presence. So it can't be understated how important having a lot of reviews are. Like, you want good reviews, you want good quality and quantity reviews, and you want them to be frequent. Like, it's no good if I haven't had a review in the past year, but I have 100 reviews and then no one's talked about me in the past year. So it's something that we've been really obsessed with in our portfolio. As of last night, I earned my sticker. We broke 100 reviews at this location last night. I was prepared for it. I got my new window cling ready to go for us having broken 100 5-star reviews. But 4 of our centers have done that in the past year. So last year we had over 300 reviews in 2023, and year to date right now we've already surpassed that 300 something reviews from last year. So I'm hoping we can double our volume in 2024. That'd be super cool. It's my stretch goal is to break 500 Google reviews for our portfolio this year. And I have a couple more centers that are slated to break the 100 review cap. But if you look at us compared to our competitor, it's very night and day as to who your first choice should be for a phone call. And a lot of the times, whenever you're trying to win that internet audience, you want to be first choice, first call. Because if you're second or third and that first person gets them right off the bat, then you don't even have a chance. So I would say reviews through text request has been like the ultimate game changer for us. What else? You guys do a lot for us, honestly. I don't want to skip over anything or understate anything, but reviews is so critical.
No, that is such a helpful overview, Libby. Thank you so much. I would say that reviews has been a lifesaver for a lot of our accounts as of late. And I am happy to give a quick insight into the ease of use, not only with text requests, but I want to take a bit of time to focus on reviews today. And so I will share my screen here and just show off the software. Libby, feel free to jump in too if anything else comes to mind. We do have a little bit more time here together today, and let's make the most of it. And so what I'll do is show you guys exactly how easy text request is to use. If you would like a more in-depth view, whether you are a current customer customer or you are looking to utilize text requests, feel free to reach out and we can get you some more information. But I will start with sharing my screen here. Let me go ahead and get this set up. Alrighty, so with Text Request, we are a cloud-based texting software. And so what this does is allow you to actually log into the software from anywhere. You can access it by going to textrequest.com, or we also do have a mobile app version as well, which gives you and your team the ability to have text conversations on the go or from a single desktop, whatever is going to be most convenient for you and your team. But as Libby mentioned, the number that you're texting from with text request is going to be your center's existing number, giving you the ability to advertise, hey, text or call us on this number. The way that you guys would respond to messages is simply by logging into text request. And now you will have insight to all of your messages on one single platform. Libby did mention something very important for our multi-unit owners is that we do give you the ability to have multiple numbers under one account with the ability to quickly toggle between numbers. For instance, if I wanted to switch numbers here, I could just simply click on that number and you'll note my conversations all change. So your conversations and your contacts and your settings can all be set to that specific number, but still all under the same account so you can access it all very quickly and easily. I do want to take a bit of time to focus on our review feature. As you can see, the platform is going to allow you to have one-to-one messages. It's also going to support mass messages, but we go a bit deeper when it comes to reviews. And so to show you exactly how it works, what you do is you simply click this review button here, and then it's going to bring you to this view. Now, what you'll need to do is connect your platforms, so your Google and Facebook, and now you have the ability to generate review campaigns. And so this gives you the ability to generate multiple campaigns. As Libby mentioned, you could have a holiday one ready to go out, you could have a back to school one ready to go out, but essentially you can generate your own messaging associated with this review request so it does feel really personal, even if you're using this review request in a mass bulk text message. Um, we did have a question come in about our reviews that I want to go ahead and highlight because something special about our review feature that it not only lets you request reviews, it also gives you a one-stop shop to respond to those reviews. And so as reviews come in, you can easily see it and respond to it, and it's going to post back to the main platform. And so it does cut down on your need for multiple platforms or multiple logins because it's all going to be right here on one screen with text request. And again, you can have multiple campaigns connected or generated, which then gives you the ability to see performance analytics as well. What's working for you, what's not. And this is all going to play back into your map pack rating. The more personalized your review requests are, the more likely you are to get responses. And so once you have your review campaign generated, all that you have to do is simply select the campaign that you would like to use, and it's going to now input your verbiage for you and collect that review. Libby, do you have any thoughts or questions here or any input, I should say, around reviews and how you're utilizing it day to day?
Yeah, the SEO team that we work with emphasizes how important it is that we get back to people in a timely manner when they do write us a review, because it helps like authenticate the legitimacy of the review that's written for you. And that is something that we underestimated whenever we first started doing reviews. So having it in a live dashboard in a sense where if you look at it, you can see which ones have already been replied to and which ones need a reply. That's super helpful, especially for us as like a leadership team where we have our owners, we have our regional directors, we have our center directors. There's different people who could hop in and make sure that things are getting done in a timely manner. So the ability to have that in a dashboard where we can see like, okay, who still needs to reply, it makes it much easier for us to get things done and keep it organized as well.
Yeah. Um, Thank you for that insight. I want to have the time. I know we're running really short on time. I want to cover one more feature while we're here today, just to show you the ease of use. That's going to be our SMS chat widget. This is the customizable widget that Libby mentioned that you can place on your microsite. It is completely customizable. And so you would have the ability to go ahead and brand it with Mathnasium's colors. And then, of course, the prompt and the form can prompt your parents to reach out to you and go ahead and get the conversation started. The nice thing is, as Libby mentioned, it is completely customizable within your text request dashboard. And then once you have it looking like you need to, all that you have to do is take this bit of copy and add it to your microsite. And now you have the ability to turn this chat widget on and off as needed. And so what this does is give anyone that may come to your website the ability to generate a text conversation with you. We use it on our website here. And as you can see, it does also include a bit of copy that's letting that contact know that they're generating a text conversation with you. There's no need to wait around on your website or wait for an email reply. They can go about their merry way and they're going to get a customized personal response directly on their cell phone. So it is a great way to immediately connect to your parents who are on your website.
Most people who reply or who initiate these conversations are people who aren't like, it's not like starting a texting conversation is taking away from them following our more primary call to action of scheduling an assessment or filling out a lead form. A lot of the conversations that people are starting with my centers through this is, will you take a kindergarten student? Do you work with students with dyscalculia? Do you work with this specific school or grant program? In California, or not California, in Arizona, we have a program called Empowerment Scholarship Accounts. It's, do you receive Empowerment Scholarship Account funds? Those kinds of things, where those people, they're not ready to fill out a lead form because they need to know, like, if you're gonna be able to get over that initial barrier to them wanting to fill out that contact info. So it allows you to get something, you can customize that form as much as you want to try and get as much lead information as what is appropriate. I keep mine very simple and stripped down because at the end of the day, I'd rather just have their phone number and be able to like have something to initiate the conversation. But if I personally wanted that student's name or that student's grade level before I bother to even reply, that's super helpful. Another common question that we get through this is people wanting pricing, which is common because Mathnasium websites typically don't include pricing. So if that's a barrier to entry for someone becoming a lead for you, I'd rather just have some information on them to be able to get it going. And then you can always add these contacts into Radius later.
Yeah.
Okay, questions, my friends?
Awesome. I do see that we had another question around reviews come in. Lori, you're full of great questions. Thank you so much. And so Lori asked for reviews. Can we do it from each, excuse me, from each one of our center's numbers and not have one centralized number? Absolutely, you can. And so reviews actually are connected. Actually, everything that you see here on the navigation tab is connected to the number on the top right-hand corner, which would be the number that you're communicating from. And so as you can see, we'll discard these changes here. If I were to switch from, let me back up to reviews. If I were to switch from what we call our training dashboard to what I call my demo number, you'll see the numbers are different. So this could be your second center. When you click into it, you'll note I don't have reviews set up. And so you can absolutely have reviews set up from coming from each of your center's number. And furthermore, everything in this navigation tab would be kept separate. So your contacts, your conversations, even your users are going to be separate dashboard to dashboard.
It does go a long way as far as like there's a degree of peer pressure whenever you're texting from the center number that parents are also used to just like having conversations with you on. There's a level of peer pressure where it's like they're almost a little nervous to text you back until they do the review because it's like, oh, I'm not going to ask them to reschedule my session last minute until I just kind of take care of this. Like, let me do this so that way it's like I don't owe them a favor when I'm asking for a favor. So I like having it in our texting conversations with parents because then it's like it's kind of sitting there, and before they text me back again, they typically just take care of it because it's like, oh yeah, that's something that I should do.
Yeah. And then Katie came in with a great question as well about the SMS chat widget. She says that they're actively using it, but they're not seeing a lot of traffic. Do you have any methods or ways to increase the traffic? So my best recommendation when it comes to setting up the chat widget is to make it exactly what your parents are going. The form needs to prompt parents to fill it out, prompt anyone on that website to fill it out. Libby, have you set up your chat widget currently? And is there any specifics that you're seeing is getting responses?
Yeah, some changes I made. I went from having just a Mathnasium logo, which honestly it wasn't as visual. This pops up after 10 seconds, so like it'll pop up, but then it would be just like a Mathnasium icon. I think changing it to my profile picture and making it look like it's a human being was a huge change. I know that there's Mathnasium uh SMS chat features where it's like AI. So making it more clear that like me as the center director, I have my center director headshot. That same headshot is on my widget. I think them understanding that it's actually like the human being who runs the center who's going to reply to them. I think that helped. I also, if I'm not mistaken, there's an option to like give them like a sample text, like a sample message. So that way it like tells the parent like what is a good question or like what is a good opening message whenever you're trying to communicate with us via text. So that way it's a little bit more clear to them like how should this be used.
Hmm.
Um, but it's not our most utilized, but again, it's all the leads that I think I wouldn't have that lead if that lead didn't have this feature. Like they'd visit our website and then disappear because they're not going to make a phone call and ask a question if something that they are looking for on my website isn't readily available on the website, but they will just shoot me a text message because it's less like invasive in a sense to them.
Yeah,
But yeah,
that is
that
very
message,
helpful.
I'd like to learn more about your business. Um, like my sample for people is typically like my K-12 student needs tutoring, like when are you available, or like what's the first step in getting my K-12 student tutoring, like that kind of thing is my sample message to try and help prompt what would be like an appropriate first message to us. And I think that helps people know how to utilize the feature better.
Yeah.
And then you guys, something that I didn't talk about as far as features, but it's applicable because Labor Day is coming up. You can put on automated responders um, on text requests. So right now with us going to be in Labor Day, I'm going to have an automated responder on just saying like, hey, happy Labor Day weekend. We'll reply to your message on Tuesday. But I guarantee I'm going to, even though you have like the sign on the door, you tell the kids, I use appointee M. So like no one has an appointment. So no one should think that they need to come to the center this weekend because their kids do not have a session scheduled. We are inevitably going to get calls and texts of people being like, are you open? Are you open Monday? Nope, but I'll have my autoresponder tell them that.
Yeah. That
Um,
is so helpful, Libby. I know that we're running really, really close on time. Do you have any final words that you would like to share today?
I didn't talk about keywords earlier, but keywords is another feature where like the autoresponder can come into play as well. As far as like if you guys ever have a window cling or a sign at an event where it's like, hey, like you want information on getting a job, text hire to this phone number and we automatically send them the link to our application. Or hey, you want to enter to win a free month of Mathnasium, text the word enter to win and we'll automatically send you the link to the form to be able to enter to win. So there's different use cases for that, and it's not the most like everyday thing, but it ties into the autoresponder and just different ways of capturing leads and lead information.
Yeah.
Cool.
If there are any of you who are active text request customers who have seen any of the features that we've talked about today and would like to utilize them, such as reviews, that is an add-on feature to the platform. And so if you would like to implement it, we can absolutely get you set up with that. What you'll need to do is to reach out to your success team member, or you can simply email success@textrequest.com to go ahead and have reviews added to your text request account. If you are not a current text request user and you would like more info on the platform or potentially getting signed up, I can support you there. You can reach out to me directly at cat@textrequest.com. All of this information will be sure is included in the follow-up to you guys as well. This has been recorded, and so this also will be available to watch back as well.